oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
Tyler Perry has allegedly exposed Meghan Markle's secret debts, and that bombshell reportedly triggered the collapse of a private biopic deal he was quietly developing with her. The financial claims tie back to a Beverly Hills mansion loan.
Meghan Markle, she may have stepped down from royal duties more than 5 years ago, but she keeps taking aim at the monarchy. The Duchess of Sussex has made reportedly at least half a dozen swipes at the royal family this year, and it's only June.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, she circles her genitals.
He arranged when she and Prince Harry moved to California. When Tyler made that debt public, insiders say he immediately canceled Meghan's biopic project and revoked her access to his Atlanta studios. This isn't just about money, it's about a breach of trust, a shift in power, and a brand suddenly teetering. We've got insider claims, dramatic fallout, and questions about the future of Meghan's media presence. Let's unpack every twist. At the 2010s, potentially millions in debt linked to his mansion loan. Observers described his delivery as calm yet cutting, with the room falling silent. Meghan was reportedly left stunned backstage, her face visibly unsettled. That revelation turned what was meant to remain private into a spotlighted controversy in a single moment. The silence that followed was deafening. Sources reveal that Meghan and Tyler had been quietly advancing a biopic project for months, meeting in secret, sketching out creative direction, and shooting early footage in Atlanta. Industry insiders say they had just started location scouting, churches, homes, estates, and were discussing casting ideas with top-tier producers.
As ever, her new company, the very first thing she said was, look, you know, when I had the TIG, which was her previous lifestyle website, you know, I loved cooking and I loved gardening and being a hostess, and that she basically said I had to keep my light under a bushel at this time because of the royal family. Then we get her show, her Netflix show.
Yeah, Anne-Marie, you're right. This is to do with the Royal Foundation. This is like an umbrella organisation where last February, we saw the first annual meeting. It was dubbed the Fab Four because for the first time we had Harry and Meghan on stage, Kate and William on stage.
Key figures had already signed on for early development, fueled by buzz that Meghan's story would be a major Hollywood moment. But within mere hours of Tyler's explosive revelation at the BET Awards, everything changed. Financing that was, once on hold, was pulled. Producers who had committed vanished from email chains. The project was suddenly removed from development boards that very same day. An insider described the fallout as an implosion, a creative partnership that evaporated faster than it had formed.
Her creativity being stunted. She says that when, you know, she first, and, you know, as a result of the royal family, she says that when she became a mum, she would have thought that she'd be able to have a baby on her hip and give speeches, but then, you know, the whole drama and the pain and everything that was caused by being part of the royal family.
Before we even get to the main event.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
Following the biopic's collapse, sources say Tyler Perry made a definitive move. He blacklisted Meghan from accessing his Atlanta studios. Reports claim that she suddenly found pre-scheduled equipment and space bookings canceled without notice. Crew members say her custom trailer, intended for production use, was reassigned. One insider stated simply, he shut the door and didn't hesitate. This level of exclusion goes far beyond damage control. It's a message. Meghan is no longer welcome on the lot she once walked. In Hollywood terms, this is professional exile. After Tyler's debts revelation, Meghan reportedly reacted with intense fury. Witnesses describe her pacing backstage, visibly flushed and swiping through her phone before storming out mid-event. Word is that she was overheard telling staff,
"As a silent wallet. He cut off communication completely." That's right, Tyler Perry, the man who gave them a roof when no one else would, has officially walked away. And from the tone of his message, he won't be coming back. One of the most jaw-dropping moments in Perry's speech came when he revealed that Meghan tried
about an hour-long cab ride. Never seen his grandchildren. This show is packed with a kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was killing.
"This isn't what I agreed to," as she left the premises. Her PR team was quick to release statements labeling Tyler's claims as inaccurate and unexpected, intended to clarify the record. Yet the moment was already cemented. The Moment World headlines carried her name beside financial embarrassment. That silence held more weight than any statement could undo. Meghan's image has always been rooted in empowerment, elegance, and a polished presence. So when her debt surfaced publicly, it directly contradicted her carefully built brand persona. Brand analysts say when a public figure is revealed to
We'll see King Charles do this, because I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren.
Wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness.
carry massive debts. It frames them as vulnerable and unstable, qualities that don't sit well with curated empowerment narratives, especially for someone who portrayed herself as financially independent and charitable. Media commentators are asking, how did a story supposedly built to inspire wind up revealing this level of financial exposure? The result? A fatal kink in the royal sheen. Hollywood insiders are reportedly hitting pause on Meghan-related projects. Pitch meetings once set to spotlight her involvement have been shelved.
Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Today, Harry and Meghan torched what little was left of their relationship with the royal family and what little was left, frankly, of their own reputations. Last week was mostly sicker.
Producers and financiers are now whispering too much uncertainty. One top-level exec observed, "It's not politics, it's about reliability, and right now she's unpredictable." Development doors that had been open are slowly closing. Some partners are asking for insurance clauses or financial disclosures before moving forward. Designs for future series or documentaries starring her are being shelved as risk assessment kicks in. Meghan's media enterprise was built on high-profile partnerships with Netflix, Spotify, Tyler Perry, and more. Now, some of those pillars are either failing or wobbling. When major collaborators retreat, the impact cascades. Without Tyler's support, without unified financing, without public trust, securing new deals becomes tougher.
Old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And
There's a real delight in being able to be a present parent. And it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work. We all have a lot of stuff to do. But when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
Faster than ever, industry experts say that once flagship partnerships reevaluate, the entire ecosystem collapses in weeks. Wasn't supposed to be a one-off hiccup. It was meant to be the foundation of her talent-driven empire. Now it's showing clear cracks, structural ones. Redemption is still technically on the table, but the margin for error is razor thin. Insiders close to Meghan say she's now in deep talks with her crisis management team, scrambling to map out a potential recovery arc before the damage calcifies. One strategy allegedly being discussed is full transparency, a rare move in her world. We're talking about public acknowledgement of debt, a repayment timeline, maybe even a sit-down interview to set the record straight, but even that comes with risk. Once you admit financial instability, the media doesn't let go. Some advisors are begging her to pivot, to stop chasing Hollywood deals and instead focus on philanthropy, humanitarian efforts, and behind-the-scenes content creation. It's a play to recapture the graceful leader persona that once brought her mainstream appeal. But the truth, none of it will work unless she moves fast. Redemption requires visible humility. It requires letting go of the illusion of control. And so far, Meghan's brand has thrived on control. So the question is, can she pull off a reinvention before the world stops caring? Tyler Perry's revelation wasn't just a headline. It was a ripple that's now crashing through boardrooms. Streaming platforms, studios, PR firms, and even fashion partners are all reportedly holding emergency calls. One insider put it bluntly, "We're all reviewing every line in every contract." Several agencies have already halted Meghan-centric projects, while others are reevaluating renewal deals with Archewell-affiliated ventures. What's worse, some investors behind Meghan's existing ventures are now demanding clarity on financial forecasts, and brand sponsors, they're panicking, because public figures with lingering debt scandals are poison for partnerships. Even platforms that were once publicly supportive are allegedly worried about the optics of staying aligned. One source from a major streaming service said it plainly, "We're recalibrating." She went from asset to variable overnight. In the industry, uncertainty is the kiss of death. And right now, Meghan's entire image is being classified as unpredictable. And then there's Harry, the wild card in all of this. Sources close to the couple say Harry was completely blindsided by the BET fallout. He had no idea Tyler was going to go public with his frustrations, let alone mention financial issues. On stage, insiders say Harry immediately began reaching out to Hollywood contacts, trying to contain the spread and offer context. But at this point, the narrative isn't his to control. It's already out there. What complicates things even more is perception. If Harry is viewed as complicit in this mess, either by staying silent or by continuing to defend Meghan publicly, it could permanently stain his own reputation. This isn't just about financial missteps. It's about judgment, about trust, and Harry's always positioned himself as the thoughtful, responsible one trying to do good outside the palace. Now, he's stuck between defending his wife and protecting the royal adjacent brand they built together. And if those two things pull in opposite directions, he may have to choose. The moment debt becomes public, financial experts say, the fallout shifts from gossip to reality. Creditors tighten, partners back off, and opportunities vanish. According to analysts, Meghan may now face interest rate increases on any private financing, a temporary freeze on in-progress deals, and an unofficial evaluation window over the next 12 months where every financial move will be under a microscope. This isn't just PR anymore, it's economics. Analysts warn that without clear restructuring, transparency, and a committed debt resolution plan, Meghan's marketability will plummet. And once media deals start factoring in risk clauses, it becomes almost impossible to bounce back at full value. Archewell's partnerships, licensing opportunities, and even charitable initiatives could face disruption if the uncertainty continues. In short, this is her fiscal cliff. Either she builds a bridge with transparency and action, or she falls. Reddit threads lit up following the story. One top post joked, "When your fairy tale castle becomes a mortgage nightmare." Users posted memes mocking the narrative of royalty financially pressed for cash. Even dedicated Meghan fan forums expressed mixed reactions, with some defending her and others retreating. Once online mockery gains traction, it becomes nearly impossible to shake the narrative. Oprah Winfrey was part of the initial media landscape that supported Meghan in Hollywood, even attending Tyler's Paley tribute in 2024. Now, insiders say Oprah is watching closely, but not stepping in publicly. That silence matters. If Oprah distances herself, Meghan's ability to regain footing could be impacted. If Oprah breaks silence to support Meghan, watch the narrative shift. Not all platforms are pulling back. Some executives believe a pivot toward transparent storytelling, publicly aided debt repayment, and philanthropic focus could restore her status. They believe she could still attract backing for documentaries or advocacy films. But advisors warn, once the financial story is public, she has to move decisively. Hesitation means opportunities will slip further. Some insiders believe Tyler's revelation was timed strategically to make a branding statement. He may have chosen this moment to position himself as the one who held the line, reinforcing his image as a deal maker with integrity that could shift perception in Hollywood. Tyler's seen as careful, Meghan as exposed. This might not just be fallout, it's repositioning for Tyler as well. This isn't the end of the story, it's just the first collapse in what's looking like a long row of dominoes. Tyler Perry's public break didn't just cancel a film. It cracked the entire foundation of Meghan's brand, exposing deeper vulnerabilities that had been carefully hidden behind curated interviews and sleek production reels. A project vanished, studio doors closed, industry insiders began whispering and then talking out loud. Sponsorships are now in review, investors are pulling up balance sheets, executives are checking exit clauses. This isn't a scandal contained to one moment or one stage. It's a multi-industry alarm bell, and people across Hollywood and London are paying attention. But Meghan's not powerless yet. She still has options, strategic ones. A public financial statement could shift the tone, especially if paired with visible accountability. Partnering with a new, crisis-tested PR firm could stabilize the messaging, and a pivot away from Hollywood glitz and toward global humanitarian work could rebuild public trust in a way no Netflix special ever could. But the window is closing. And if she chooses silence, denial, or another overly curated press push, it won't just fall flat, it'll fuel the narrative even more. Hollywood is watching, yes, but so is the royal institution, the public, the press, the brands, even her closest allies are waiting to see her next move before they decide whether to stay loyal or cut ties. And that's why this moment matters. Because if Meghan can't navigate this spiral with transparency and humility, then the entire playbook for celebrity redemption might have to be rewritten. She built a brand on control, but survival now depends on surrendering some of that control fast. The next move is hers.